Dear fellow Malaysians, toll highways are the most visible of all privatization projects in Malaysia. The controversial manner in which the concessions are awarded and the abuses of such awards are the talk of all Malaysians. The government claims that privatization of roads is good for the people because, firstly, private companies are better to provide and operate them, and privatization would greatly reduce the government's financial burden. Sadly, this is not true. Despite toll roads, we are still facing traffic congestions in the city. Toll rates are increasingly expensive. Privatized highways have been abused by cronies to gain exorbitant profits, and the government have failed in providing basic road infrastructure and public transport to the people. The award of Maju Expressway is one example. The government gave Maju a grant of 976 million ringgit to fund the total cost of the highway, which stood at 1.36 billion ringgit. Simply put, the taxpayers paid 74% of the cost. Subsequently, EP Manufacturing Berhad proposed to buy the concessionaire from Maju for 1.7 billion ringgit. Assuming the 976 million grant will not be repaid, Maju Holdings is expected to make a handsome profit of 1.36 billion ringgit. Now, the rakyat demands answers from the government. Why bother privatizing the highway in the first place, where 74% of the cost is borne by the taxpayers' money? Why give a 976 million grant to Maju? What are the terms and conditions of the grant? Why so special to Maju? Another example of privatization being abused is that of the West Coast Highway project, awarded to Kumpulan Europlus Berhad. Why has the cost of the highway increased to 7.07 billion ringgit compared to 3 billion ringgit in 2007? Why grant a 60 years concessionaire period to K Euro, the longest in Malaysia? Why grant a 2.24 billion ringgit soft loan to the concessionaire? Why so special to K Euro? The rakyat again demands the government to justify its decision to award the project to Kumpulan Europlus Berhad. Apart from Max and West Coast Highway, we are also frustrated with the government's decision to extend the concessionaire period of the North-South Highway for another 20 years to 2038. What is the reason for that extension? Further, why is Plus allowed to increase toll rates by 10% every 3 years? A KL to Penang trip would cost 247 ringgit by 2038 compared to existing 86 ringgit. The current concessions are already lucrative. Based on its annual report, Plus on average achieve a net profit margin of 53.1%. Simply put, for every ringgit Plus collects, 50 cents goes to the company. Why is there a need to further burden the people with a 20-year extension? The people deserve to use the highway for free beyond 2019.
Abuse does not stop here. A further 7 new highways in the Klang Valley are planned. South Klang Valley Expressway, Bisraya Extension, Kinrara Damansara Expressway, West Coast Highway, Damansara Shah Alam Highway, Sungai Besi Ulu Klang Expressway, Duta Ulu Klang Expressway. However, some of these highway awards were made to people close to the corridors of powers. KIDEX, for example, was awarded to firms linked to prominent UMNO lawyer and the ex-Chief Justice Tun Zaki Azmi, whom himself was an ex-UMNO legal advisor. How could these be when these parties do not have previous experience of building and managing highways?
Eventually, with these new highways, those living in the Klang Valley will have no choice but to pay toll every time they leave their houses. No wonder cronies are getting excited at the prospects of new highways being planned for construction. Enough is enough. The Barisan National Government is not fit to govern. It facilitates greedy cronies to abuse privatisation projects and reap super profits. This must stop. Vote for real change.